Before that, it was a whole time period where Israel didn't know who they were. That's the dead bodies that I was talking about. You know, and now of course, where did the Israelites wake up at? You know, so they woke up here. The majority, at least, woke up here within Babylon. So showing you this is the great city that it's talking about. You know, and this is where their dead bodies will. This is where their dead bodies will be laying. According to this Ezekiel. But let's read on. Behold, they say, our bones are dried and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves. And this is exactly what's happened now. The elect have woken up through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shem Shah, after receiving this knowledge, and wisdom, you know, knowing who your true heritage, knowing who you are, your true power, the name of the Lord, all these things, and it moved, it quickened, once again, made alive the men of the Lord. Now, of course, 2/3, they're still dead. They're still in a dead state, because the scriptures prophesy, and say that, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, you know. But I just want to show, this is showing you that this is that great city that, the dead bodies will be lying in, you know. Now and of course, as they were in a dead state, what Esau continued to beat, hang, and continue to murder, slay, the children of Israel. That's why in that Nahum, Nahum chapter 3 and verse 1, woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery, the prey departeth not. The bloody city is talking about here at Babylon, where we're at right now. All right, it's all full of lies and robbery. Now, of course, this was talking about, where Nineveh, where Nahum was prophesying to, but in the spirit, of course, wisdom is twofold, or even manifold. We can apply it here where we're at right now. All right, it says the prey departeth not. Now, who's the prey? The prey is the children of Israel, the Israelites. Woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels, And it's definitely all lies and robbery because, everything Esau pushes out, his history, all right. Now, of course, there's truth in it, but then, of course, he has to mix a lie in there. He's not going to tell you who you are, You can find the history, of how he took down Gad, He came over here, he slaughtered the so-called Puerto Ricans, which are the Ephraimites as well, and shipped them off onto in ships, across the seas, You can find all this history, but what, he's gonna push out, lies and say that, this place was fought for, like it was done all, I don't know, in a righteous manner, When really it was, as the scripture say, it was nothing but lies and robbery. As the scripture said, the thief coming not before to steal, kill, and to destroy. But let's read on. The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. All, the noise of the whip, and when what comes to mind when you hear that, you hear, of course, the southern kingdom, being beaten, the slavery, of course, slavery happened to all, but, it fell hard mainly upon Judah, because that's the head tribe, The horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses, So, hey, it says what? There's a multitude of slain, and this is exactly what's happened. A lot of the Israelites were slain. Esau slew a lot of the Israelites when he came over here. That's why this place, is a bloody city. It calls it a bloody city. And what did the scripture say? Let's get there real quick. Because this is what has to happen, all right, in order for this place to be cleansed. Numbers chapter 35 and verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. You know? So, Esau, as the scriptures say, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with a sword must be killed with the sword. It all falls into place, and it lines up perfectly with his judgment. All right. He led the children of Israel into captivity, as I just explained, and a lot of the Israelites' blood was shed here. This is, we're sitting on stolen land from the natives, and a lot of their blood, all right, it's still, it's a lot of bloodshed on this land, you know. Of course, with the Southern Kingdom as well being brought over here, so Esau has to pay for all of this, you know. So, going back to that Nahum, okay, Nahum chapter 3, in verse 4. Because of the multitude of whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts, and this is talking about Babylon once again, all right? Because, it's talking about, it mentions a well-favored harlot, and which reminds me of that scripture in Revelation, so let's get that real quick. Revelation chapter 17. I'll start at the top. And there came out one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, and this is John receiving a vision, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, So, hey, this is talking about this city here, Babylon, all right? Because, once again, that great whore is talking about Babylon, that was sitting upon that beast, which represents this whole, power structure. But, that whore, it literally represents Babylon, because it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like the wickedest of them all, And Salakia, I hope it's all making sense, through the spirit. I'll read verse 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, and decked with gold. So basically, it's going into America being that wicked place, which has pushed its wickedness upon all these other nations, around it, that it's done business with, or because when you look at it, really, a lot of these things, that Esau does, whether it be through his media that he pushes out, or whatever the case may be, a lot of these shows, even, a lot of these shows, all right, well, put it this way, a lot of these shows are seen throughout all these other nations as well, So therefore, if little things like that, say for example, like a show is seen across the seas, how much more everything else that Esau pushes out, just everything pretty much, So, but that was pretty much the point, just wanted to go into, how, Babylon is a bloody city that's destined to be destroyed, and once again, I hope I wasn't going off, but I want to say, call hello Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, for putting the spirit upon me to do this lesson. I want to give double honors unto the elders of Israel, which are the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well, and peace, blessings, and salutations to all Yuakim throughout the 4 corners of the earth, continuing to push and do the works in truth and in sincerity. With that, Shalom.